Well, hey everybody. Hey, I know we're doing this a little different this year, due to just some scheduling conflicts that are going on tonight. I know a lot of players are really committed to their select programs, and we want to respect that. We'll just do this a different way. This will be just a long video attached with all our coaches talking about each individual player, talking about our seasons, talking about how we measure success, and then we'll finish it up with some awards tonight. You'll also be given some information about some packets. I always give out packets that include season stats, some awards that were handed out, some records that we have throughout our program. I'll be up at Snohomish High School tomorrow, Monday, from 2:45 to 3:30, and players can stop by and pick up those packets as well as plaques and awards that they've won. So first off, I just want to thank the players and especially the families, for their commitment, their dedication to our season here this year. It really was a fun time, and all of us coaches are really blessed and very grateful to work with such outstanding young men. We know that all of our players really perform in the classroom. They perform as incredible citizens in our community. They're leaders on our campus, and they're pretty dang good at baseball, as our records on our varsity and JV team really reflect that. So I'm really proud and really thankful to be part of this program. I've been a part of it since I was a little kid. My dad coached here for 25 years. And I played under him. I was an assistant under him for 5 years and got to take over for him 4 or 5 years ago. So I'm really grateful for that. And I really thank the people around me who support Snohomish baseball. And it's just a blast every year getting the chance to work with so many outstanding young men and compete on the baseball field. But first off, I just want to say thanks to some people a part of our program who really give support that you may not see every day when you come to our games or come to our practices, but guys that just go out of their way to volunteer and help in certain different ways. The first group that I'd really like to thank is our home run club, and I can't thank Rich Ballman and Leon Berman and Don Winningham and Jennifer Leonard and Jamie Ballman enough for their commitment and what they do behind the scenes just to support Snohomish baseball. The player pack that we put together at the start of the year, they're really behind that with the orders and organization and making sure each player has that. And as you can see, coming to our games, you can see how nice our equipment and our uniforms and just our brand is out there compared to some of the teams around our community. So I'm very thankful for you guys. You guys develop a great team, and your communication is so well done with me to make sure that you're making Snohomish baseball a better place. And I can't wait to see the future that we have together in future years with Snohomish baseball, not just the present. So thank you guys so much for your commitment to Snohomish baseball. I can't thank you enough. The next guy is a new guy that we added to our program this year, Seth Dawson. So a little bit of history between Seth and I. So I played baseball at Everett Community College right after high school. And, while I was playing baseball there, we had this great announcer up there. He had all the bells and whistles up there. It sounded like a minor league game. And then he also came out with a newsletter that we had when I was in college. It was called the Trojan Red. You guys got used to the Panther Pounce this year that Seth does, throughout our season. But, we would be hitting BP before games, and then the opposing team would hit BP. And during that time that we had some downtime, we would take the Trojan Red out and read it individually. It was just a blast. It was hard copies back then, whereas this year it's been digital. But Seth, he does so many things behind the scenes. A lot of the first pitches that we had this year for our varsity games, Seth organized and orchestrated and made that happen. He's just a phenomenal guy, the way he announces and just all the bells and whistles and walkout songs that the kids have. And he's such a caring individual for all the support he gives my way as well as our program. And Seth, I just want to thank you for being part of our program, and I can't wait to see once again in the future and what you give to Snohomish baseball, as you gave a lot this year. I can't thank you enough. Next guy, been part of the program for a long time, coached with my dad for over 20 years. He coached me when I was a little kid in Little League all the way up through high school, and I've got the chance to coach with him while I was an assistant. He was even an assistant throughout the first couple of years as when I was head coach. But George Cuth is a guy I can't thank enough for what he does behind the scenes. He helps with equipment, he helps with uniforms. He takes care of our baseball field throughout the off season as well as in season, and then he handles a lot of our stats and handles Game Changer for our varsity club. So I can't thank George enough for what he's done for me, as he's been a coaching mentor for me since I've been a little kid, as well as throughout my years as a head coach and assistant coach. And George, I can't thank you enough, as you've been an incredible individual and somebody I can always reach out to for advice, and somebody that's always there to support Snohomish baseball and represent the brand and really give to kids, what they need and support that they need, and you just make baseball, a better place. So George, I can't thank you enough, man. I appreciate it. So just jumping into really our season, and really how I measure success is, you think about sports and we think about stuff on the field always. I think that's important, but remember this is high school sports, and I measure success in a variety of ways. I measure it in 5 key ways: with how we perform in the classroom, what our character is like off the field as well as on the field, our sportsmanship with how we treat people on the field, our work ethic and what you're asked of by your coaching staff throughout the year, and then last, being fundamentally sound on how we perform as a team. So really 5 key ways that I measure success as a team. The first thing I think about is academics and how important that is. I look at the stats that we had this year, just from our varsity group. We had a 3.21 accumulative GPA throughout our 19 guys on the varsity team, including 6 guys who had a 3.5 GPA or better. That includes 2 guys in particular, Andrew Winningham and Easton Leonard, who both had a 4.0 GPA during first semester. So you talk about not just competing on the field, but competing in the classroom as well. And we want to always send that message to our guys that, hey, whatever you do throughout your life, make sure you're competing in it. When you get that study notebook or that test or that assignment or that paper that you got to do, compete and do it to the best of your abilities. Just the way you guys perform in the classroom, I couldn't be more proud of yourself, as that will open doors for you guys moving forward. So excelling in the classroom is a great thing to see, and I really appreciate our commitment. And I know our JV team, really committed as well. I don't have the stats behind that, but there were very few issues when it came to academics and stuff off the field. Second thing that I talk about is character. What do we do when no one's looking? Our character off the field. How do we perform as citizens in our community, our respectful bunch? And I kind of measure it based off the feedback that I get from teachers and staff members at Snohomish High Schools. I worked up there for a number of years, and I have great relationships with a lot of the teachers and staff members up there. And, I can only count, an email or 2 that I got from teachers this year complaining about maybe some disrespect or anything like that. But besides that, we have outstanding young men, and they come and show up on time, and they have respect towards their teachers. They sit in the front row, they take good notes, and they treat their classmates with a lot of respect, as I didn't hear or see any problems throughout this year. So I'm really proud of the character that we have and the integrity that we have in our program, and really speaking to the individual players as well as a group. The character that you guys show is top notch, and I can't thank you enough for the character. And that's really what we want to embody with Snohomish baseball. Is that's been really a model for our program. Great people make great baseball teams. So people first and character first is what we preach. And you guys, you're outstanding people, and you're fun to be around, and I can't thank you enough. The third thing is sportsmanship. We talk about what we do on the field now in terms of how we treat ourselves, how we treat our teammates, how we treat our coaches, how we treat the umpires, and how we treat and measure up with our opponents. I think, throughout the year, talking with our coaching staff as we meet frequently and communicate a lot, there wasn't any disrespect that we felt. Everything that we asked, you guys did above and beyond. You're very obedient. You work your butts off. There's great sportsmanship there. We talk about umpires as, umpires are always an issue throughout high school sports, and some of them do struggle. That's just part of it. But it's not, really their call. It's how we respond to that. And if you're responding in a positive way, and you guys really respond in a very, very positive way. So that's incredible to see. So once again, the sportsmanship that I saw on a daily basis was great to see. You guys, we played some teams that obviously, were up and down in terms of their character and their attitude. So we were able to respond positively from that. There wasn't any issues there that I was too worried about. So, that was great to see. Fourth thing is work ethic. High school baseball is a grind. I know it's 2.5, 3 months at the max, but we're going 5-6 days a week, 2.5, 3-hour practices, as well as incorporating the weight room. You guys have a blue collar work ethic. That's part of our program, and you guys have a tremendous work ethic with what you do on and off the field. And, it shows with our academic reports, it shows with your character, it shows with your sportsmanship, and it shows in practices and how we prepare and plan and how that translates to the field. So, I can't thank you guys enough. Once again, we have a good routine, a good practice plan, and you guys go above and beyond to meet the needs that we want from you and in order to prepare for the games that we have. So, whatever you do throughout your life, you got to have a good work ethic, because that's going to translate into what you do in the classroom, as well as what you do in sports at a young age, into college and your profession that you ultimately pursue. So keep up the hard work with that work ethic, as you guys do a great job with that. And last, fifth is being fundamentally sound and really about our season. Our varsity group, really thank you guys for what you guys did on the field this year. We were 15-7 as a team. We ended up making the postseason, and we can talk about politics and stuff that we can't control with a loser out game, but throughout the year it was just a great season. I talk about just the way it started with our jamboree going up to Bothell and facing two tough teams that both ended up making the state tournament. Bothell made the 4A state tournament. Lincoln of Seattle made it to the round of 8 in the 3A state tournament. So facing some tough teams, didn't end up going our way throughout that jamboree, but we could have packed it in then, or we could have responded positively. And you guys saw 2 days later, we went and faced Jackson, who was one of the better teams in our area, and we took it to them. It was pretty cool to seeing the guys celebrate after a big win like that. And we started out 4-0. We then got punched in the face a little bit, facing Kamiak and Arlington twice, where we were in a position to win all 3 games, and unfortunately it just didn't work our way. So starting out 4-3, after a good win streak, then a losing streak, how are we going to respond again? What's our attitude going to be like? Are we going to, pack it in? Or are we going to plow moving forward? And you guys really did that. We ended up winning 8 straight games after that. It was incredible to see. We started off league play on a high note. We took it to, our rival Glacier Peak, as well as some old rivals in Lake Stevens and Cascade. You guys really did a great job, and that was great to see. At the end of the year there, with some rainouts, some umpiring issues, we had 5 games in 6 days, so we really had to dig deep into our bullpen. So that was tough, but once again, you guys performed great. 15-6 regular season, 15-7 overall after playoffs. Seeing the RPI rankings and stuff on Max Preps was pretty cool to see and talk with all you guys. But just being fundamentally sound, the way you guys performed, it was great to see. It was great to be around. You guys really are baseball guys, and you work hard, and it's fun to be around, and we can't thank you guys enough as coaches for those areas. So I thought just measuring success of the program is great to see, and you guys did great in all those areas. And just one more thing, I forgot to thank some of the guys that make my job a lot easier. I think when you become a head coach, you got to surround yourself with great people, and that speaks to any avenue in life. Anything that you do, you got to surround yourself with great people who are going to push you and make you better. So the assistant coaches that I have, as well as Ryan Sutton, our JV coach, do a tremendous amount of work and make our program a better place. Ryan Sutton being kind of on his own this year with our JV team. Being asked to do a lot, but the guy is just so prepared and mentally tough, and he translates that to his players, and you see the success that we had as a JV group this year. Ryan just does an outstanding job, and anything that I ask of him, he's right there, and even pushes past that threshold to make himself better and make his team, more than prepared for the games that they have. And working as an, individually at practices and games is a tough ask, but Ryan does a great job, and he's been with me since I started as a head coach, and I can't thank him enough. So Ryan, really appreciate you. Adam Avila is a new guy to our staff this year on varsity. He's a guy I coached throughout his high school career, and I have a great relationship with his family. He was an all-league performer in high school and hit close to 400 his senior year. You can see him in some of the record book stuff. But Adam came out, and he's been in a leadership role, throughout his life, whether it's been through high school baseball or high school tennis or leadership in college and anything like that. But you can see that those leadership traits come out with him this year, as he was very comfortable around the guys, being a young coach that can really relate to some of our guys who are entering college and entering, their profession in the next year or two. So I'm a guy that, I got a lot of good feedback from kids just saying they really enjoyed being around him. So Adam, can't thank you enough, man. You did a tremendous job for our program. And last, and certainly not least, is Aaron West, a guy that's been our pitching coach for 5 years now. And Aaron's one of my best friends, and I can't thank him enough for what he's done for our program. He just has so much knowledge and so many stories and so much information that he passes on to our guys when it comes to pitching, position play or hitting, or just off-season stuff in terms of arm care and the weight room. So Aaron just has such a way with the guys to really get their best out of them and even help them even more as a pitcher. And you could see just from our pitching stats this year and the way we performed, we weren't sure of our pitching staff coming in, ended up being our strength as a team. And you can't thank Aaron enough for what he did there. And he just did a tremendous job. So thank you, Aaron, for that. Our coaches are tremendous, and they make Snohomish baseball a better place. So that's just our first video. We're going to jump into our JV season here, and then you'll see myself as well as Adam and Aaron jumping into some guys that we're talking about individually, and then finally I'll pick up with some awards to finish out this video today.